The top stories tonight in Y News. The Office of the Solicitor General and the International Criminal Court Assistant to Counsel have both revealed that they have no information regarding the alleged warrant of arrest against former President Rodrigo Duterte. Several senators thumbed down the call of House Majority Leader Zamboanga's 2nd District Representative Manuel Jose Dalipe to reveal their stance on charter change. Various government agencies express opposition to the proposal of separating Mindanao from the Philippines. And we will find out why the United States Appeals Court rejected former President Donald Trump's claim of immunity from prosecution. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Wednesday, February 7, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Hardin Delgado. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., together with cabinet members, attended the situational briefing in Davao City to tackle the effects of shear line and trough of the low-pressure area in the region. The president ordered the concerned agencies for a completion of assessment of damages to infrastructure and thoroughfares in the Davao region. Nelma Ribohok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. approved the release of 265 million pesos for the victims of flooding due to inclement weather in Mindanao. In a situation briefing led by President Marcos, Social Welfare Secretary Rex Gatchalian said the president instructed them to mobilize food and cash immediately to the affected areas. According to PBBM, he decided to release the funds as the people affected by the incident have needs beyond food.
They need to buy other things na para sa kanilang household, no. So that's why the ECTs are become very important, and that's why I released the 265 million to make sure that that phase of the response is immediate at maramdaman kaagad ng tao, mayroon kaagad silang tulong.
President Marcos also directed the local governments and national government agencies to provide shelter and support. He added the government will prioritize the repairs of roads affected by floods.
We will prioritize the thoroughfares, the roads that are necessary for us to be able to bring whatever relief goods are necessary, all of these water purifiers, etc.
Authorities reported a total of 232,683 families or 768,297 persons were affected in the region, of which the province of Davao del Norte registered the highest number of affected families at 128,894, followed by Davao Oriental at 63,379 and Davao de Oro with 43,428 families. Davao City had 4,083 while the province of Davao Occidental had 899 families affected by the low-pressure area. Nelma Ribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Office of the Solicitor General and the International Criminal Court, or ICC, Assistant to Counsel Attorney Cristina Conti said they have no information over the alleged warrant of arrest against former President Rodrigo Duterte. Dante Amento tells us why.
Former presidential spokesperson Attorney Harry Roque revealed last night, February 6, that he has reliable sources regarding his information that an arrest warrant could be issued anytime to arrest former President Rodrigo Duterte. It is allegedly either from the International Criminal Court or a local court in the country.
Yung pag-aresto na lokal, meron din po akong multiple sources na kapanipaniwala din. Ang hindi na lang daw sigurado paano at kung paano masoserve sa kanya.
Nevertheless, Solicitor General Minardo Guevara said they have no information related to the warrant of arrest against the former chief executive. The ICC will allegedly need to notify and request cooperation from the Philippines before serving legal processes such as an arrest warrant. Attorney Cristina Conti, ICC Assistant to Counsel and lawyer for some alleged war on drugs victims, revealed that any ICC warrant of arrest should course through with the government, and they have not also received information on the issue.
Sa gobyerno dadaan yung warrant of arrest. Pero kung sa akin, we have no information that this warrant has been issued. Kung i-announce man yan ng ICC, papatawag yan at isasama kami, inaasahan namin dahil nagpa-participate kami dun sa investigation, may imbitahan kami dun sa announcement yan.
Meanwhile, retired Supreme Court Associate Justice Antonio Carpio believes that former President Duterte must cooperate should a warrant of arrest be issued against him.
Well, he should cooperate because if you don't show up there, then your voice is not heard.
But Attorney Roque, on the other hand, emphasized former PRRD will not cooperate nor allow himself to face a foreign court. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Philippine National Police, or PNP, has announced that it will not enforce any warrant of arrest issued by the International Criminal Court, or ICC, against former President Rodrigo Duterte. This statement comes after Duterte's legal counsel, Attorney Harry Roque, received information suggesting that Duterte may soon face arrest. PNP Public Information Office Chief Police Colonel Jean Fajardo emphasized that the PNP will adhere to President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive, stating that the Philippine government will not cooperate with any ICC investigations. Fajardo also stated that the PNP will comply with Marcos Jr.'s directive to avoid any interaction with the ICC, ensuring that government agencies do not assist in any inquiries conducted by the ICC.
Nagsalita na rin po yung ating DOJ, yung ating presidente mismo na we question nga yung jurisdiction sa atin ng ICC kasi umalis na nga po tayo sa kanila. So for all intents and purposes, wala na pong jurisdiction sa atin ng ICC.
Marcos Jr. previously stated that the government is closely monitoring the ICC to prevent any engagement with government agencies. He instructed all government offices, including law enforcement and local government agencies, to refrain from responding to any queries from the ICC. Lawmakers in the lower chamber said they do not have a backup plan yet if Senate does not pass resolution of both houses number 6 with urgency. Meanwhile, the House Solons are not in favor of conducting a plebiscite for charter change and the 2025 midterm elections simultaneously. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
House Solon stated that they have not discussed their backup plan in case the Senate does not pass the resolution of both houses number 6 with urgency, which aims to amend several economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution. March 2024 was initially reported as the target timeline to pass it in the higher chamber, but Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri said they will not be falling into a trap on any deadline.
The March timeline was not imposed by Congress. It was stated in one of the press cons of Senate President Mig Zubiri na matatapos nila by first quarter. Although, of course, Senator Angara gave a different timetable because right now, hindi pa ito napag-uusapan ng leadership ng Kongreso. So, I think it's one of the topics that we will have to discuss. No?
According to Surigao del Norte 2nd District Representative Robert Ace Barbers, if RBH 6 will be pending in the Senate, People's Initiative campaign could be considered.
If this will not happen, I think ongoing pa rin naman yung People's Initiative. No? It's just suspended for the meantime by the COMELEC. So, I don't know, maybe one of the backup plan would be to consider the People's Initiative.
Meanwhile, lawmakers in the lower chamber said they are not in favor of conducting the plebiscite for charter change and 2025 midterm elections at the same time. They say the public should be able to focus their attention on amending the Philippine Constitution.
Hindi ito ordinaryong batas lamang na ipapasa ng Kongreso. So dapat dito ay may focus, no, dun sa usapin. Huwag nang haluan ng iba.
Rosalie Coz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Amid the ongoing political rift between the two chambers of Congress, several senators criticized the call of a House lawmaker to make public their position on charter change. This report will tell us why. As the word war on charter change or Chacha continues, several senators thumbed down the call of House Majority Leader Zamboanga 2nd District Representative Manuel Jose Dalipe to reveal their stance on the issue. For Senator Christopher Bongo, this will render the ongoing Senate hearing on economic Chacha biased. The subcommittee of the Senate Committee on Constitutional Amendments and Revision of Codes began tackling the resolution of both houses number 6, which seeks to amend certain economic provisions of the Constitution.
Respetuhin niyo naman yung senador kung ano yung magiging posisyon niya tungkol dito. Kakaumpisa pa lang, tapos sasabihin mo na tatanungin mo, are you in favor or not? Alam mo, ongoing yung public hearing. Eh, bakit mo naman obligahin yung senador na magsalita? So magiging bias na po yung magiging deliberation pag sinabi mo na. Remember, we are only 24 here. So kung magsasalita na yung 7 dyan, wala. Tapos na ang usapan.
For Senator Sonny Angara, who heads the subcommittee, just like in lawmaking, they will listen first to the experts before deciding on Chacha's fate. He emphasized that senators will think and listen first and hopes that the House of Representatives will do the same. Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Coco Pimentel calls the House lawmakers' appeal as pointless, saying that they will officially vote on the matter at the proper time. He also pointed out that senators should be allowed to keep an open mind as they listen to experts on the issue. For his part, Senate Majority Leader Joel Villanueva seemingly took a swipe at Representative Dalipe with a 3-worded question. As several lawmakers call for a ceasefire on the verbal tussle between both houses of Congress, some senators hope that both the Senate and the House leaderships will have a dialogue to settle the issue once and for all. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, the United States Court of Appeals has denied former President Donald Trump's claim of being immune from criminal prosecution. Mavian Dog will tell us why live. Good evening, Maeve.
Good evening, Elsie. A 3-panel judge of the United States Federal Court for District of Columbia Circuit has concluded that Donald Trump does not have immunity from prosecution as the charges against him are related to his official responsibilities during his time as president. The ruling, which states that any executive immunity he had as president no longer protects him, dismisses the former president's attempt to avoid trial charges that he plotted to overturn the election results in 2020. A spokesperson from Trump's campaign, Stephen Chung, stated that the court's decision threatens the bedrock of their republic. Trump would be appealing, but it is not clear whether they will ask the DC Circuit to review the ruling or go straight to the Supreme Court. The panel has given Trump until Monday, February 12 to make an appeal. He is now facing 91 criminal charges and is the first former U.S. president to be criminally prosecuted. Back to you, Elsie.
Thank you, Mavian Dog, reporting live from Australia. Based on a study conducted by the Seoul Unification Ministry, it has been revealed that the food rations provided by North Korea are reportedly decreasing. This finding is based on interviews with thousands of North Korean defectors or individuals who have left North Korea and resettled in other countries. An analysis from a 280-page report released by the Seoul Unification Ministry on Tuesday, February 6, showcased that the majority of defectors resettled in South Korea over the past decade allegedly did not receive rations from the North Korean government. Instead, they had to rely on informal markets to survive. The survey, which involved over 6,300 defectors interviewed between 2013 and 2022, marks the first time such results have been made public since the Seoul Unification Ministry initiated the survey in 2010. More than 72% of defectors who arrived in South Korea between 2016 and 2020 claimed they did not receive food rations from the North Korean government, compared to 62% of those who arrived before 2000. North Korea has faced severe food shortages over the past decades, exacerbated by the widespread famine in 1990s, often worsened by natural disasters. Additionally, the country's economy has been impacted by international sanctions, and trade has plummeted due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
It is expected that this February, around 700 claimants will also receive their checks after the ongoing clearance process with the Overseas Filipino Bank and Land Bank. This follows the announcement last night by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. that the payout has commenced for the initial 843 claimants. According to the Department of Migrant Workers, the clearance process for the checks has been shortened by 1 month, now taking between 45 to 60 days. The total amount received by the first batch of 843 claimants is approximately 691,453,000.
So around 700 checks still awaiting clearance at this stage. And of course, as I mentioned, there are still many who are yet to receive the checks, and we are again helping them along these lines and coordinating with the Saudi side along these lines.
The Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, stated that there are 10,554 OFWs on the list they submitted to the Saudi Ministry of Labor. These are OFWs with IQAMA, or residence permits, who lost their jobs in Saudi Arabia in 2015 and 2016 due to the bankruptcy of a construction firm. More than 9,000 are still awaiting compensation. The DMW also mentioned that next week, a multilateral conference will be held in Dubai, where the leadership of the DMW will engage in discussions with the Saudi delegation regarding this matter.
Hopefully, there will be a conference in Dubai next week. It's a multilateral conference. Hopefully, I will get the chance to meet the Saudi delegation there. But other than that, I also plan to make that visit to Saudi after the Dubai conference to follow through with the rest of the 9,000.
Various government agencies have expressed opposition to the proposal of separating Mindanao from the Philippines. However, according to Davao del Norte 1st District Representative Pantaleon Alvarez, this is a good indication because it means the government do care about what they are pushing. He added that they wanted to discuss the matter thoroughly before finalizing it. Jed Neresina will tell us why.
There's no need to rush. This is what Davao del Norte 1st District Representative Pantaleon Alvarez said about their proposed separation of Mindanao from the Philippines. According to him, it is necessary to have a good discussion about the issue and both parties should agree on the same goal.
Wala kaming masasabing timeline dahil nga ayaw nating i-shortcut ito eh. Gusto ko magkakaroon ng konsultasyon sa mga tao.
He said it is also necessary to know the opinion of the public on this matter.
Nalalaman natin yan sa mga tao dito sa Mindanao. Kasi hindi naman ako lang yung magdidesisyon. Kung iuurong yung kilusan o hindi.
In relation to this, Alvarez still believes that they have many supporters who are pushing Mindanao to separate from the Philippines. Especially they see no hope for Mindanao to remain in the country since it is always on the list priority.
To be honest, yung grupo namin nung araw, yung One People Mindanao, hanggang ngayon ay buhay pa naman yun. At ganun pa rin yung nasa damdamin nila.
He also said that there are politicians in Mindanao who are expressing support about this.
Marami rin akong kaibigan sa iba't ibang areas ng Mindanao, iba't ibang provinces. Nakakatanggap ako ng communications from them na, brother, isama mo kami dyan.
Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, aims to resume the distribution of voters' IDs to registered voters. Chairman George Erwin Garcia stated that they will need to deliberate on this matter in the on-bank session before commencing the actual distribution, which is targeted to begin before the end of 2024. However, the COMELEC clarified that they have to prioritize first the distribution of IDs to voters abroad or overseas Filipinos.
Gusto natin mapasimulan sana sa mga overseas Filipinos natin muna. Kasi mas kailangan nila na merong ID. Kasi national ID, alam mo naman natin sa sobrang dami, hindi ka agad nakakatanggap lang tayo ng mga resibo muna.
The Commission stopped the printing of voters' ID because of the national ID system. The transport group Manibela files graft and corruption charges against Department of Transportation, or DOTR, Secretary Jaime Bautista and other officials in relation to the implementation of Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program, or PUVMP. JP Nunez details why.
Transport Group Manibela, led by its chairman Mar Valbuena, filed a complaint before the Office of the Ombudsman earlier today, February 7. The charges are against Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista, Office of the Transportation Cooperatives Chairman Andy Ortega, Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB Chairman Chofilo Guadis III, and board members of the agency. Their complaint affidavit also includes Solicitor General Menardo Guevara. Based on their document, Manibela believes that the transportation officials failed to conduct consultation among affected sectors when they released a memorandum circular back in December 14, 2023. The issued MC states that the public utility vehicle operators should comply to the consolidation until December 31, 2023, or their franchises will be revoked. Manibela also stated that the said officials violated the Article 1, Section 3 of the Constitution, depriving operators and drivers of their livelihood to support their families. They also mentioned criminal offenses committed by the respondents, including violations to anti-graft and corruption practices, code of conduct and ethical standards for government officials and employees, grave coercion, and grave threats.
Maraming nilabag sa konstitusyon ang DOTR, LTFRB, OTC at lahat ng nagpapatupad ng programa na to. Yung pag-revoke sa aming prangkisa na hindi dumaan sa due process, paglabag talaga ito sa karapatan natin.
Manibela said they included Solgen Guevara in their complaint as the official allegedly defended the respondents instead of telling them to follow the Constitution. Meanwhile, in a statement from Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista, he said that the complaint affidavit has not reached their office yet. The Secretary has assured the public that the implementation of the PUVMP strictly complies with the 1987 Constitution. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, in a leaked document, key points of the upcoming National Health Service or NHS Dental Recovery Plan for underserved communities in the United Kingdom were discussed. The plan aspires to enhance dental care in areas without NHS dental services, and notably dentists will be offered incentives like golden hellos and cash incentives to encourage them to work in areas that are underserved by the NHS. Meanwhile, this scheme has taken criticism from dental leaders in the industry. British Dental Association, or BDA's leader Sean Charlwood, expressed that the recovery plan won't halt the exodus from the workforce and that the crisis will remain until the industry gets a real change. Around 240 dentists are eligible for a £20,000 or golden hellos if they commit to serving underserved areas for a minimum of 3 years, but in reality, this is only about 1% of the dentist workforce. A deadly atmospheric river storm is on its third day of lingering over Southern California. Rains have soaked the region and feared to trigger more flooding and mudslides. Ruth Bahay will tell us why.
Los Angeles work crews and residents worked last night to clean up after damages from 475 mudslides and almost 400 fallen trees. After experiencing a record-breaking day of rainfall, a flood watch for Los Angeles County was extended until early today, while a flash flood warning was issued for the Orange County coast, along with flood advisories for as far as San Diego and the U.S.-Mexico border. Southern California is still expected to cop a final but shortly burst of heavy rain today before tapering off into the week's end. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses lost power due to downed trees and utility lines, including 153,000 utility customers who were still without power on Tuesday morning. At least 36 buildings were damaged by mudslide and hill slope failures and require inspection, 7 of which have so far been declared unsafe for occupancy. The ground was left supersaturated that Chief Forecaster for the National Weather Service, Ariel Cohen, believes it will take very little rain to trigger further landslides. These heavy rain and snow conditions will now go down as the wettest storm in Los Angeles in more than 150 years. Ruth Bahe, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Former President of Chile, Sebastián Piñera, has tragically passed away in a helicopter crash. Piñera, who was 74 years old, served 2 terms as president and was also a billionaire businessman. Meanwhile, 3 other passengers aboard the aircraft survived when the helicopter crashed into a lake near the town of Lago Ranco. The nation has declared a period of national mourning in response to this incident. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Elsie Marcos, live from Auckland, New Zealand. Good evening.
Part of our daily lives of Filipinos is the use of social media. When they have free time or nothing to do, many find entertainment in watching online videos. But what are the signs that indicate someone needs a social media break? Gladys Tuabi details why.
Entertainment and stress relief. These are just a couple of reasons why many Filipinos are hooked on using social media and watching online videos. According to the Digital 2024 Global Overview Report, Filipinos lead the pack when it comes to online video consumption. A staggering 97.2% of Filipinos aged 16 to 64 tune into online videos every week.
Smartphones are everywhere and anywhere, so we can always access. So the availability and accessibility also push us back to watch these videos online, anywhere, wherever, as long as na internet o data in a way. Escape and entertainment value of watching videos online. Okay? It's a form of entertainment. Contents are very relatable to us Filipinos. Part of our escape is creating from the real world, we go to our digital world.
While social media has become an integral part of everyday life for Filipinos, it is crucial to recognize the signs that indicate the need for a social media break. Firstly, if you find yourself unable to resist comparing yourself to others on social media, it may be time to step back.
It can happen. It really happens, no, to people that sometimes rather than ma-entertain sila, rather than congratulations, pero pakita sa vlog, achieve ako mga batchmates, they would some point would say congratulations, but some of them also at the back of their mind, emotionally, sometimes they are also triggered comparing themselves, no, kay mga negative emotions are coming from comparing one's life to others, no.
Secondly, if you're using social media as a means to escape from facing real-life problems and challenges, rather than confronting them head-on, it's a sign that a break might be necessary.
Instead of going out there, ang hitabo na kay some would be having so much time online na makalimot na sila to socialize. So, ang hitabo na nila, social media becomes like a cage for them to isolate themselves. So it's also not good because social relationships are buffer man sa atuang well-being. So finding the right balance, I would say, is very important.
It is important to strike a balance in using social media. Establishing a personal routine for when to use it can ensure that there is still time for physical interactions with others. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
A proposed measure seeking to increase the minimum wage of private sector workers and employees has reached the Senate plenary. Senator Jinggoy Estrada, who chairs the Senate Committee on Labor, Employment and Human Resources Development, sponsored Senate Bill 2534, which aims to legislate a 100 peso minimum wage increase in the private sector. According to Estrada, the committee recommended the said amount instead of the original proposal of a 150 peso daily wage increase after all regional wage boards have already approved wage increases ranging from 30 to 90 pesos last year. The lawmaker believes the minimum wage should be adjusted to help Filipinos amid soaring prices of basic commodities and services. Other lawmakers also took the floor to co-sponsor the measure. Estrada adds an estimated over 4.2 million minimum wage earners will benefit from the measure once it becomes a law. Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 19, it says, "In your patience, possess ye your souls." And those are the reasons behind the news, February 7, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold, because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Harleen Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
They need to buy other things na para sa kanilang household, no. So that's why the ECTs are become very important, and that's why I released the 265 million to make sure that the phase of the response is immediate at maramdaman kaagad ng tao, mayroon kaagad silang tulong.
Yung pag-aresto na lokal, meron din po akong multiple sources na kapanipaniwala din. Ang hindi na lang daw sigurado, paano at kung paano masuserve sa kanya.
Sa gobyerno dadaan yung warrant of arrest. Pero kung sa akin, we have no information that this warrant has been issued. Kung i-announce man yan ng ICC, papatawag yan at isasama kami, inaasahan namin dahil nagpa-participate kami dun sa investigation, may imbitahan kami dun sa announcement niyan.
Well, he should cooperate because if you don't show up there, then your voice is not heard.
Respetuhin niyo naman yung senador kung ano yung magiging posisyon niya tungkol dito. Kakaumpisa pa lang, tapos sasabihin mo na tatanungin mo, are you in favor or not? Alam mo, ongoing yung public hearing. Bakit mo naman obligahin yung senador na magsalita? So magiging bias na po yung magiging deliberation pag sinabi mo na. Remember, we are only 24 here. So kung magsasalita na yung 7 dyan, wala, tapos na ang usapan.
Wala kaming masasabing timeline dahil nga ayaw nating i-shortcut ito eh. Gusto ko magkakaroon ng konsultasyon, no, sa mga tao. Nalalaman natin yan sa mga tao dito sa Mindanao. Kasi hindi naman ako lang yung magdidesisyon. Kung iuurong yung kilusan o hindi.
So around 700 checks still awaiting clearance at this stage. And of course, as I mentioned, there are still many who are yet to receive the checks, and we are again helping them along these lines and coordinating with the Saudi side along these lines.